Yeah, thank you very much. You're too kind. You know, I was thinking the other day, thinking about something that a friend told me. He said, yeah, man, you're so good with impressions. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I mean, you sound just like Lennon and Fudd and Daffy Duck. He said to me, oh, and Sammy Davis Jr. He said to me, you know, you got all these Clinton jokes going on. You ever thought about working on an impression of Hillary? Had some soda in my mouth at the time and I about spit it out all over the table. And I was like, really? Yeah, man, I know you could do it. Your work ethic, your strong, hardcore character, your insistence on telling only clean jokes kind of limits what you can do a little bit, so why not go for an impression of the old Hillary? I said, honestly, that would be impossible. So he said, why? What would you say? I said to him, first of all, I doubt that I could stand the sound of her voice long enough in order to be able to put in the work to get the mannerisms and the pronunciation, the dialect and all that stuff down. I mean, I would have to take some pretty heavy-duty painkillers in order to make that happen. You know, heroin, morphine, opioids, you know. I'd have to go for the real hardcore stuff just to kill the pain that would cause. Maybe even a laxative, for all I know. Now, speaking of opioids, the autopsy just came back in a few days ago. It turns out that Prince died of an opioid overdose. And, I mean, I don't have a joke to make about that. I think, that would be pretty tasteless to make jokes about someone who was basically a pretty good person, after they're dead. So I'm just mentioning it. Just popped into my head as I was talking about the painkillers that would be used to do get the Hillary impersonation down. No, we'll say one thing about Prince, though. I found out something good about him is that after he is passed, I read an article or two about him, just, came across them. I wasn't looking for them. Turns out that Prince was straight, which surprised me. Yeah, he actually had a number of girlfriends, but, the reason why he come off as a little bit effeminate is because that's the way musicians are. They have the diva state of mind whenever they are into their music, and they start acting a little bit like girls. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's just the way that they are. Prince is a pretty good guy. Everybody pretty much respects him. I know I respect him. The guy was a musical genius. Prince is one of those guys that could pick up an instrument for the very first time and teach himself how to play it pretty darn good within a day or two. So the guy was gifted, a rock and roll legend, and worthy of all of our respect. And our, prayers go out to his family, and that they would remember him for all the good times and all the good things, and not the way he died. Unfortunate way that he died. What was I talking about? What was I talking about before I got off on the Hillary joke? That's a lot of truth to that joke too, by the way. Oh, yeah. I was talking about the guy in the second row who brought his own material to my stand-up routine tonight. Let me tell you something. There's nothing more disrespectful or subordinate than an audience member who brings his own material to another guy's stand-up routine. And not only that, but this guy's jokes are worse than mine. Somebody need to get a police officer in here to write a citation against this guy for impersonating a comedian in joke slaughter in the 2nd degree. But anyways, I digress.